What is up, guys? The Strong Boys 19 here. Sorry that the lighting is quite bright from this side of my face, and for the messy hair look, but this is going to be a video to share with you my thoughts on a few reports that had happened recently. First of all, it's going to be two different tributes to Jim Dunlop and Guy Webster, and of course about the news from the legend that is Ozzy Osbourne from Black Sabbath and as a solo artist. So let's get on to the tributes first off. Jim Dunlop, the man himself who's highly beloved as one of the most iconic people in the music industry for guitar picks. And this was actually very bad news because, ever since I had started learning guitar in the first place, I was trying out different guitar picks, but a lot of them were from the Dunlop manufacturing company, and I used to play acoustically with those very thin grey guitar picks, but I've been experimenting with many different picks when I was playing electric, and the pick that I used to practice and perform live with was mostly this one. This is the big stubby 2mm guitar pick, and this pick worked so perfectly for my playability and attack. And of course, I was trying out some of the Jazz 3 guitar picks. I just find some of these picks from Dunlop to be quite fascinating to experiment with because each guitar pick has their own feel and comfortability. And this is another one. This is the stubby 3mm guitar pick. I know you can't really see the picks very well because the text as well is like very small. The other two that I've got, this is another one of my favorites. This is the Jazz 3 guitar pick, and in part of the XL series. And another one is the 0.96mm Dunlop USA guitar picks. So to find out about the news on Jim Dunlop was just absolutely tragic, and not only that his guitar picks are amazing to this day, I have always been a supporter of some of the pedals from the Dunlop license. Some of the Dunlop pedals that I have been buying and played with over the years have been absolutely amazing, like the different fuzz faces to the different crybaby wah-wahs, and also the Jimi Hendrix Octavio fuzz pedal that I absolutely adore. And if it weren't for Dunlop, I wouldn't have been a huge supporter and user of many of their incredible guitar picks alone. And I also really do think that Dunlop have made some of the best guitar pedals that I've ever heard. I love other guitar pedal companies like Boss, for example, and of course there was the Tube Screamers, Maxon before Ibanez bought the license to Tube Screamers, but most of my pedals and picks I use were from the Dunlop company. So my heart goes out to Jim Dunlop and the rest of his family, and God bless him. And now for Guy Webster. Guy Webster was a very iconic photographer due to liver cancer and diabetes. And what he did the photography on some of rock's most iconic album covers. When it comes to highly acclaimed, successful albums, that are like known as one of the best of all time, it's not only for the sound, the production, what the band sounds like, and what their songwriting is about. Album covers are hugely a big part in the music industry, and what Guy Webster did, he did famous album covers from bands like the Mamas and the Papas to Captain Beefheart from his Safe as Milk album, Captain Beefheart and His Magic Band. And he also did one of the Byrds albums, The Doors' iconic self-titled debut album. And he also did album covers from others like Sound of Silence from Simon and Garfunkel, and the Rolling Stones with a few of their releases, including one of their big hits compilations. Even though that I don't really talk about many different people that worked on iconic album covers, but they have to be talked about because, you know, when it comes to album covers in general, I always get fascinated by the way an album cover will be unique or just eye-catching. And Guy Webster's photography on some of the many different album covers he had done for these bands are just so great. I love different people from their artworks like Storm Thorgerson to Roger Dean, Peter Blake, who did the Sgt. Pepper album cover by the Beatles, and also with Klaus Vormann for the Beatles album cover of Revolver. Many different people, but I gotta say that Guy Webster will always be one of the legends for putting out some of the world's most beloved and iconic album covers in rock history, period. So again, like my tribute to Jim Dunlop, my heart goes out to Guy and his family, and to everybody that have been supporting him over the years. So now, the last one, we've heard the news about the legendary vocalist from Black Sabbath and as a solo artist, Ozzy Osbourne. And this is one of the t-shirts that I have. So, Ozzy, I hope he will recover very soon because he had been in hospital a few times, including surgery from one of his thumbs. But recently he had been hospitalized again due to complications with the flu and, you know, health problems. And that is quite worrying. I will always support Ozzy no matter what, since he is one of the most iconic and highly influential icons in heavy metal history. I think Ozzy is just one of the people that I would really love to meet. And not only that, he is a legendary vocalist from his role with Black Sabbath, portraying his vocals with some of the most iconic voices in metal music with his own range. But I was always fascinated by his own personality, and his personality is just like so humble and positive, and he really does care about the fan base and the people that have been friends with him. I feel very lucky to be a supporter of Ozzy, and you know, he will always be one of my biggest idols that, you know, if I have the courage to meet him, I would be so, so proud and happy of myself. Ozzy is a legend, and I really do admire the guy. Fingers crossed, I hope that he will recover very soon. Heavy metal wouldn't be the same without Ozzy himself. A huge, influential and beloved icon in metal. That is really all I gotta say, and I know that this is quite a long video, but I just feel like addressing you guys what I think and feel about these types of things that have been happening recently in the music world. So yeah, my tributes to Jim Dunlop and Guy Webster, and how I feel and what I think about the news from Ozzy Osbourne. Once again, get well soon, Ozzy. I'm here for you, as always. Love you, man. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of these things in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.